Well, hello and a very warm welcome wherever you're listening to Szekesfehervar in Hungary, about an hour from the capital Budapest. This is the 9th stop of the World Athletics Continental Tour Gold Series of meetings, and one of the last opportunities for top athletes to improve their performances, hit the form they want before those Tokyo Games, now just some 23 days or so away. My name's Tim Hutchings, beside me Jenny Meadows, with you now for the next 2 hours and more of top flight athletics. This is the 11th edition of the István Gyulai Memorial meetings. Gyulai, of course, a man who put so much hard work for many, many years into the sport of track and field athletics, and his son Marton is the meeting director. Well, there's a lot coming at us over these next couple of hours and more. As I say, we begin with the women's 400 meters, an event I know Jenny will be very, very focused on. But the fields here, I can tell you, are stronger than ever before. We're expecting quite a few meeting records, and the conditions are absolutely perfect. It's hot and steamy, pretty humid in Hungary at the moment, in central Hungary. And we can bring you all the best action over this next 2 hours, where world and Olympic champions are turning out in good numbers, because this is renowned for being not only a top meeting, but a great place to visit as well, despite all the normal COVID protocols that are being introduced. And the 400, there's that lineup. And I'll pass it over to Jenny. Jenny.
Yeah, good evening from me. Obviously, Tim, you've been at this meet many times. It looks fantastic conditions, and we're really looking forward to kicking off with this women's 400 meters. Well, on the outside, there is Lavia Nielsen of Great Britain. She's a former European junior champion. She will be going for the Great Britain team in Tokyo in the relay. And so will this woman, Nicole Jürgen. What a year she's had, a huge breakthrough, 50.96 seconds. She'll be going in that relay for Great Britain, as well as the individual 400 meters. Klaver from the Netherlands, well, she's a great 200 meter sprinter and really finding her form this year over the 400 meters as well. European indoor bronze medalist earlier this year. Wadeline Jonathas, she is another athlete going to those Tokyo Games. She was third in the recent US National Championships, and she'll be going in that event, as well as the 4x400 meters. Stephanie Ann McPherson, well, she's ran sub 50 seconds this year, 32 years of age, and ran a personal best, 49.61 seconds. Again, she'll be looking to feature in that final, come that 400 meters final. Caitlin Whitney, another athlete just outside 50 seconds this year. She was 5th in Eugene in that US National Champs. She'll be going in the 4x400 meter squad. This is an athlete, Poland, and renowned for producing great quarter milers. And Kazmerek has been absolutely at the forefront. The Polish champion this year, she'll be in Tokyo. And on the inside, the Hungarian national champion this year. In fact, she's won 7 national individual titles. That's Nadhezi from Hungary, 52.85, her season's best. So from the inside, we've got Nadhezi, Kazmerek, Whitney, McPherson, Jonathas, Klaver, Jürgen, and Nielsen. 9 women in the world have broke 50 seconds this year. Shelly Ann McPherson in lane 4 is one of those. Jonathas just outside that, 50.03. She goes in lane 5. So off we go. We can see that first bend bathed in sunshine. And we are looking at those center lanes. I can see in lane 6, Klaver's gone off really well. Really fast 200 meter athlete. And McPherson it is, who's overtook Jonathas at this early stage. McPherson's got some incredible personal bests. And here we go at the halfway mark. It does look like it is McPherson. Jonathas is coming back now. Klaver out in lane 6 has started incredibly well. We can just see there in those fluorescent socks, that's Whitney in the inside in lane 3. But here's that trademark fast finish now from Jonathan. She's really digging in, but McPherson looks like she's got plenty in reserve. She's going all the way to line. Can she be under 50 seconds? Oh, 50.02. Well, it was a great win there for McPherson. She started off with intent, didn't she? Really quick over that opening half of the race. In stark contrast to Jonathan, who really does finish really strong in the second half. Oh, here we can see the clock has been rounded down, in fact, 49.99.
Yeah, that's a fabulous run, Jenny, isn't it? 49.99, just clicks under 50 there with that dominant run, frankly, against Jonathan, who is a world champion in the long relay from Doha. Ended up a third in those US championships in 50.03, Jonathan. So that's a fabulous run from McPherson. Good lane draw for her. Set off nice and steadily. Klaver went off very quickly indeed from lane 6. The Dutch athlete trying to get down towards 50 seconds. Her lifetime best 50.98 this year. But that's a 4-meter winning margin at least there from Jonathan. But an impressive 1-2 there. And Jonathan's time 50.7, nearly a second down.
Well, I think we can see from those conditions that we see on our screen and from that result, it looks like it's a great evening. And 49.99 it was for McPherson, 50.70 for Jonathan, and 51.23 for Leica Klaver.
Well, that's not a bad way to get the international events on this track.
Yeah, so first of all, many congratulations. How was that? There's a very hot here in Szekesfehervar, so how was that for you?
I mean, I'm from Jamaica, it's this kind of weather. So I'm pleased to come out here today to execute a good race.
Okay, and how tough was that, just here, you know, running in these conditions?
I mean, I traveled last week, and you know, when you travel for a very long time, your legs get tired and stuff like that. So to come out here and run this fast, I am very pleased.
So much, many congratulations again. Nagy tapsot kérünk még egyszer, tehát a győztesnek.
Köszönjük szépen.
Well, congratulations indeed. Feeling very much at home with these weather conditions. Hot and sticky, just like Jamaica, she said. Next event on the track, the women's 100 meters. And this promises to be a fabulous race. Look at that lineup. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, the Jamaican champion from 10 days or so ago in 10.71, took the 200 title there as well in Kingston. She is the world #1 this year. She's twice an Olympic champion in 2008 and 2012, 9 times a world champion as Fraser-Pryce, but that is a tough field. Talu has been in great form for the Ivory Coast. Blessing Okagbare has been a long way under 11 seconds this year. And Elaine Thompson-Herah, well, she is the reigning Olympic champion, the compatriot of Fraser-Pryce. Thompson-Herah goes in lane 6. Might have been nice to see her up alongside Fraser-Pryce, who's 10.63, makes her the second fastest athlete in history. There you can see Michelle Aye of Trinidad and Tobago. Frustratingly 6th in both the 100 and 200 in Rio. But of course, Rio, 5 years ago now. More recently, well, she's been in good form. Aye, she won Bydgoszcz last week and with a strong headwind had to run into a -1.9. She ran 11.33. We'll be looking for a better form. Kayla White of the USA was only 8th in their championships, but she's run 10.99 this year. Some measure of just how strong those US championships were a couple of weeks back. But Aye, well, she was the flag bearer for Trinidad and Tobago at the opening ceremony of the 2018 Commonwealth Games. Apparently was just 6 years old when she realized that she had got some big talent for sprinting. But believe me, this is a very, very high caliber field. The meeting record, by the way, 10.92 Blessing Okagbare has been quoted at us, but I did a little bit of checking and actually she had a 2.6 wind behind her that day, Okagbare, back in 2016, 5 years ago. It's not to say she couldn't run 10.92. Her lifetime best is 10.79 from 2013. She is, of course, also a fabulous long jumper. the Olympic silver medalist in Beijing 2008. Well, Talu goes in lane 3, drawn alongside Fraser Price, and she is a very fast starter, Talu. Winner in Luzern last week, and then she won in Oslo, and then second in Stockholm just 48 hours ago in 22.3 in the 200. And of course, she is bronze medalist in the 100 from Doha 2019, and actually she ran her personal best in that final. There is Aye, Michel Aye. She goes in lane 1. Won in, gosh, pretty easily last week. Kayla White should be in lane 2. Talu, well, in wonderful form. She, even more frustratingly, perhaps 4th in the last 2 Olympics. You sort of want her to get amongst the medals this time right. Kayla White, by the way, is a non-starter in lane 2. That's why we didn't see her. There's Fraser Price, back in wonderful form. Missed the 27 season as she was expecting her first child, but she's back to full power now, if not the best power ever, with that 10.63 in Kingston in early June. Blessing Okugbare, tall and powerful, broken 11 seconds legally 4 times this year. And in her last race in Lagos, she won the Nigerian Championship. There is Elaine Thompson-Herah, beautiful looking performer. 3rd in the Jamaican 100 and 200 meter championships in Kingston recently, but just feel as though she's rounding into shape, and with some 3.5 weeks to go, I think she'll get there. Natasha Morrison goes in lane 7, 6th in the Jamaican championships, but she's broken 11 seconds 4 times in her career, and her lifetime best back in April, 10.87. Angela Del Ponte, well, the European indoor champion, of course, back in March in Torun, over 60 meters, was 3rd in Oslo last Thursday in 11.16. And was actually beaten in the Swiss Championships. She just has one of the best sprinters in Europe back home in Switzerland, where she ran 11.07, but beaten by Mujinga Kambunji. So, an empty lane there over in lane 2. I do sometimes wish that they just bring the athletes in together. Why does Michel Aye have to stay out in lane 1 on her own, separated by an empty lane from the rest? But anyway, there she is to write a picture with the red hair. Aye in 1. Marie-Josée Talu in the orange there in lane 3. Fraser Price, so powerful, beautiful form athlete, holds her form so well through the latter stages as well. Has had a fair share of injuries, mind you, the last couple of years, Fraser Price. She's in 4. Okugbare goes in 5. Watch for her to come late. I think she's better at 200 than 100. Elaine Thompson-Herah, the Olympic champion, in 6. Morrison 7. Del Ponte, lane 8 to left of picture. Well, good start there from Fraser Price, also going well as Thompson-Herah. Thompson-Herah leading at the moment. The others are chasing hard. Fraser Price, is she going to get there? No. Thompson-Herah is going to take this one by 0.5 meter from Fraser Price, and Talu in 3rd place. 10.72. Well, if that is confirmed, that is super fast. It's 0.2 of a second off that meeting record, which, as I said, 10.71 for Thompson-Herah. I said she's rounding into form. She will round into form, and she has done there. That is only 1/100th of her personal best. Wow. There is so much more to come as well. Come the Olympic Games and that adrenaline and the focus. Fraser Price, 10.82. Talu, 10.86 in 3rd place. That's only 1/100th of her best. And Okugbare, 10.89. And yesterday, Jenny and I had a call with Martin Gyulai, the meeting director, and he said, we know this isn't a hard track, it's a very soft track. Well, Jenny, you'd never think so, seeing those times.
You wouldn't, and I'm sure that sent shockwaves all around the world when people in the athletics world see those times. But it was Talu who had a great start, then Fraser Price. But Elaine Thompson-Herah, she just, once she gets going, she's so majestic, isn't she? Such a tall and rangy athlete. And looking at that, she shot up the world outdoor list this year, second only to Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price.
There it is, Thompson-Herah, a meeting record, 10.71. And that is 1/100th of her season's best, but only 3 other women have gone quicker in the world this year. Fraser Price 2nd, but a well-beaten meter down. Talu, brilliant running, season's best, 10.86. And the first 4 under 11.
Yeah, just one quick question. First of all, many congratulations. Your official time is 10.71. How does it feel for you?
I feel pleased. It's close to my PB. Didn't expect to run that fast, but I'm really grateful.
So much did you expect that time before the competition?
No, I did not. I'm really surprised.
Thank you. Good luck. Thank you so much.
Well, absolutely stunning stuff from Thompson Hedda, as we see Tamberi, one of the favourites in this men's high jump. Tamberi there, who suffered that extraordinary, horrible injury in Monte Carlo a couple of years ago. Well, I say a couple of years ago, it's about 4 years ago now. Popping there over 2:27, the second time of asking. In fact, the computer is just slow to catch up. Brandon Stark of Australia. Commonwealth champion back in 2018, Stark. Was second in Florence. 2 or 3 weeks back with 2:33. Is in good form. His lifetime best is 2:36 from 3 years back. But they are going well, as you would expect in these conditions, Jenny. Just looking. A couple of athletes already over 2:30, Poroshenko and Nadasakau. And there's the lineup for the men's 100. British and American interest here in particular. Justin Gatlin goes in lane 3, the Olympic champion back in 2004. No, you heard me right. Some 16 years ago now, 17 years ago. Bronze medalist in 2012 as well, and second in Rio. He has a complete set of Olympic medals, actually, does Gatlin. He goes in 3. There's Adam Jamili, rounding into form. This is his first 100 of the year, Jamili. He is better known as a 200-meter runner. Remember, he was 4th in the Rio, missed a medal by, was it 1/1000th of a second, I think? 4th in Doha a couple of years back at the World Championships again. He's been unlucky, as Jamili, and he's had his fair share of injuries too, but rounding into good form. British champion of the 200 last week. So, Gatlin, controversial character, but he has a full set of Olympic medals. Gold from 2004, bronze from 2012, and silver from 2016. Marvin Bracey, second in the world indoors back in 2014. He's the world #2 this year. He's a very fast starter. We're telling the heats, though, of the US Championships. And only 7th in Stockholm. Maybe jet lag affecting Bracey. He goes in 4. Simbine goes in lane 5. Young, 8th in the World Championships back in 2017 at 200 meters. He's a 9.89 performer, though. His 5th in the US Championships, 200 meters. Simbine, by the way, the Commonwealth champion in 5, Young in 6, and then Emmanuel Metadi goes in 7 for Liberia, knocking on the door of sub-10 territory. His lifetime best, 10.01 from 2 years ago, and he's repeated again this year, back in early April. And Mike Rogers, well, 36 years old, couple of real old-timers in this one. Gatlin is 39, Rogers 36. But he won here in 2018, although he was only 3rd in Bydgoszcz last week in 10.33. There were headwinds, though, in these straight sprints last week in Poland. Plenty of experience, Mike Rogers. He is renowned for racing just about everywhere. Silver medalist in the world indoors back in 2010, over 60 meters. That was in Doha, that championships. So again, a no-show in lane 2. Alonso Edward is a non-starter. So Jamili in 1. Gatlin in 3, Bracey in 4, Simbine in 5. He won her in 2016. He's in great form, Simbine. Watch him. 9.99 this year. Young in 6, Metadi in 7, Rogers in 8. Away first time. Good running there from Simbine. Simbine in 5, leading at the moment. Also having good run is Rogers. Simbine takes it by about 1.5 meters. He's waiting for that mark to come up. Slight delay with the timing at the moment, but he looked very happy with it, and we know conditions are fast after that supreme 10.71 from Thomson Herra in the women's 100. So what has he been credited with? Still waiting for those marks to come up. And we'll bring it to you as quickly as we can. But that, one of the biggest wins of Akani Simbine's career. He was a good footballer as a lad. He's a big Chelsea fan. But great form. He's won his last 3 races, the South African Championships in 99, then Florence. He won there that Diamond League in 10.08. And he followed that with a win in Lucerne last week at damp, cool Lucerne in Switzerland in 10.11. And his hero, well, it's Safa Powell, who is the meeting record holder with 9.86 from 2011. Jenny, that is quite some field he's beaten.
It is, Tim, and if we look at this race again, there he was in the centre, and he really drove that first 30 metres. He gets up to top speed, but it's the second half of the race where he really puts a couple of metres against some of the best men in the world. Well, I did get a glimpse of the clock, and I think it said 9.85, and yes, if I'm right, that's actually a meeting record, and it's a 10-year-old record, and he takes down the mark of Safa Powell of Jamaica, 9.86.
First of all, many congratulations. Your official time, it's 9.85. That's your best ever in your career. And the record in here competition, what are your feelings now?
It's always great coming out here. My last PB was here, the 9.89, and now I come and do it again. It's always a pleasure running here, and I'll be back.
Okay, but 9.85, come on.
It's really great. We've been working for it, and we believed we could do it, and I'm happy that I could do it at the place I did my one from before. So it's really great.
Congratulations, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Nagy tapsot kérünk Szimbinének.
Well, he likes this track, doesn't he? Over to this women's long jump competition now. I do apologise, but our CIS computer system has gone on the blink. We're unable to give you the situation at the moment. But Bek Romanchuk, the Ukrainian silver medalist in the last World Championships. There's her card, 6.79 there in the 3rd round. Abigail Ozaru, 6.64 in 2nd place at the halfway stage. Now, Tommy Walsh in really good form. Look at that, 22.22 from Tommy Walsh in the shot put. That is a season's best for the Kiwi in round 2. And that's another monster. That's out beyond 22 meters as well. He's loving it. World champion in 2017, twice world indoor champion. He's the reigning world indoor champion. Took the gold in 2016 and 2018, and he's the Rio bronze medalist to boot. The Americans certainly will have their hands full in keeping this man at bay. Ryan Krauser, of course, broke the world record back in the middle of June at the US Championships with 23.37. But Tommy Walsh, well, that new meeting record, it has to be a meeting record, actually. It's the first time it's ever been held at this meeting. Mihailovic and Awatunde chasing. Well, Protsenko, this men's high jump. Unlucky that. Won the Ukrainian title last week with 2.26. 4th in Rio. Look to go one place better at least. Come Tokyo, sees the best of 2.30 for him. Still, I'm afraid, my news for you is that our CIS system is on the blink. To give you updates at the moment. Field disciplines. We will, of course, be with you as quickly as we can. Donald Thomas, well, his story goes back a long way. Thomas, the world champion back in 2007 in Osaka. 37 years old now. He was a raw talent when he first came to the event. The Bahamian, first jump with the basketball shoes on. Well, a beautiful afternoon, as you can see, in Central Europe as we go to this lineup for the women's 100-meter hurdles. And what a lineup it is, and what a stadium record they'll be chasing. We've had meeting records, meeting records in both women's and men's 100 meters. But look at that field. Jasmine Camacho Quinn of Puerto Rico is the world #1 this year with 12.32. The meeting record by Kenny Harrison back in 2017. Of course, Harrison, the world record holder, is 12.28. Sharika Nelvis, well, only a semi-finalist at the US Championships, but she's a 12.34 performer. She's the 10th fastest in history. She won here in 2018, but this is her first race since the US Championships. Went out in the semi-final with 12.81. Again, underlines the caliber of sprint hurdling in the USA. Brittany Anderson of Jamaica, bronze medalist in their championships. Only 20, but she will be on the plane to Tokyo. Elvira Herman, the European champion outdoors in Berlin 2018. She's a former world junior champion. And won in Bydgoszcz last week with a very modest 13.15 into a strong headwind. She's in 3. There is Camacho Quinn in fabulous form. Won the Hengelo meeting with 12.44, then won in Florence. That was the last race in Florence 2 or 3 weeks back in 12.38. Nadine Visser of the Netherlands, 6th in the last World Championships, the former heptathlete, very much a specialist sprint hurdler now. Only her second outdoor race, Visser. Luka Kozak was 6 times Hungarian champion. Best of 12.81 this year. That was back in early May, though. Does hold the Hungarian national records both indoors and out, but she's really up against it here. She'll need her best form to get in the top 3. Gabrielle Cunningham of the USA, 4th in those US Championships, just missed out on the ticket to Tokyo. Set a personal best in those US Champs of 12.53 for 4th place. And Luminosa Poliolo, the World University Games champion from a couple of years back, recently won the Italian title with 12.90. That was in Rovereto. So, it is a strong field. Nelvis in 1, Anderson in 2, Herman in 3, the reigning European champion. Camacho Quinn in lane 4 there, the fastest in the world this season. Her dad's an American former football player. Her mum is a Puerto Rican, that's the one she's gone for. Camacho Quinn then, the world #1 in 4. Visser with a 12.62 in Doha back in 29, one of the fastest Europeans ever. She goes in 5. Kozak in 6. Cunningham in 7. Watch her second to left. And Poliolo in lane 8, the Italian champion. Good start from Camacho Quinn. Also very good start from Brittany Anderson over on the far side in lane 2, second to right. But Camacho Quinn beginning to pull away now. Good running too from Cunningham. Left a picture, but it's going to be a comfortable win by 3 meters there. 12.35 for Camacho Quinn. Well, it's only 3 100ths off her lifetime best. Wow. Super fast. Who said this isn't a quick track? 12.34, in fact, she's been credited with. And that, Jenny, you look at the world rankings for this year, and only she has run faster.
Every time that she runs one of the world leading times, and she's got a clear gap against the next people, you know, coming up right behind her. She didn't have the best of starts as well, and I actually thought she didn't run all the way through the line, so perhaps she's going to take this event to new heights, and as the season progresses. But yeah, I think we're just accustomed now to seeing her name on the start list, expected to win. Let's look again. She's in lane 4. She didn't have the best start. That was Anderson in lane 2. but it is from hurdle 5 now. You can almost see, it looks like she's speeding up. She's getting all the momentum as all the rest of the women are just seeing her move away from her in that last half of the race.
Well, you know where she's quick. She gets that lead leg slapped down onto the track very, very quickly, regains contact and drives for the next barrier. She's very quick between the barriers. Tremendously powerful, Jasmine Camacho Quinn. And that, well, it's not a meeting record because Kenny Harrison had set such a high standard, but 12.34, and it's this consistency she's achieving that it's the athletes so cherish. Now, Ivanyo in this high jump.
Well, it's great to see the crowd so enthusiastic behind these athletes. I'm told that we've got 2,000 in. There's 1,000 permanent seats, and they've brought 1,000 temporary seats into this one. But here's that result. Camacho Quinn, 12.34. So good, like you say, Tim, driving behind the barriers. I'm still not convinced she drove all the way to line. There's more there. Herman second, 12.67, and Cunningham from the USA third in 12.75 seconds.
Yeah, brilliant running, but that does reflect a 3-meter winning margin, doesn't it? And Herman finding really good form, 12.67 to get in amongst the Americans. Americans in third and fourth. Simbine, well, he's set the bar very high already at this meeting, 9.85, a personal best for the South African with that new meeting record. Regaining the win here after winning back in 2016. Maintaining his series of wins. And the Camacho Quinn, well, she too marches on her merry way towards Tokyo. Now, what, 23 days away, the athletics in the Japanese capital. And just confirmation of that win for Simbine. Again, he well separated from Mike Rogers and Marvin Bracey as well. Jamili, 10.14 there. Well, that is a season's best, Jamili, by dint of it being his first 100 of the year.
Yeah, first of all,
He's
many
a 9.97
congratulations. Just
runner.
please sum up your one. How was that?
I mean, really grateful to be here. I was, nerves got the best of me, of course, when they say on your marks. But my first time here, I definitely just wanted to run great. I think I handled it well, and glad I came out with the win.
Okay, thank you so much, and good luck in the future.
Well, how interesting was that? You know, we've just seen a phenomenal performance from Jasmine, but she also said that nerves got a little bit of the better of her. We're not used to that from a professional athlete, but great honesty.
Well, the women's 100-meter hurdles followed, of course, by the 110-meter hurdles for men. The barriers just raised by the officials, who are all doing a great job in warm, sticky conditions. And there is the lineup. And again, a fabulous lineup. Grant Holloway, the world record holder indoors over 60-meter hurdles this winter in Madrid on the 24th of February, ran 7.29. He goes in 4. Ortega, the Rio Olympic silver medalist, goes in 5 beside him. 2015 world champion Sergei Shabenkov goes in lane 6, rounding into form. He won here in 2015 and 2018, Shabenkov. He likes this track and this environment. Sean Brathwaite, 6th in the last World Championships, the Bayesian, in lane 1 there. And this is Valdo Zsuksh, who goes in lane 2. Zsuksh is 4 times Hungarian champion, recently won their title in Debrecen, 13.38. Ronald Levy, the Commonwealth champion from Jamaica, won the Jamaican title just the Sunday before last in 13.10. Set his season's best in the semi-final, actually, 13.08. And there is Grant Holloway, 6'2", good long jumper. He's an 8'17" long jumper. Won here in 2019, so he knows the facility as well. And fresh from victory in those US championships in 12.81. Well, 12.96 in the final. He ran 12.81 in his semi. There's Ortega, goes in lane 5. Won Bydgoszcz last week in the headwind, 13.33. Shabenkov, twice winner here in the past and twice World Championship silver medalist. He too has had a lot of injuries over the last couple of years. Well, Rashid Broadbell should be in lane 7. But Dimitri Bascu it is in lane 8 of France, who's struggling for form, the Rio Olympic bronze medalist. He is 33 now, but only 4th in the French Championships in Angers last week in 13.47. And what is he wearing, Bascu? Long, long shorts, almost basketball shorts. Those are training shorts. I've never seen a high hurdler race in those. Looks like he's got the thigh-length tights on underneath. It's almost like he's forgotten to take off the baggy shorts, Jen.
Well, maybe if he wins, we might find out, Tim. I don't know.
Well, I just have a feeling he's creating a bit of a barrier for himself with those shorts, but I hope he does win and make me wrong on this issue. The meeting record, by the way, is by Shubenkov from 3 years back, 12.92, a really quick 12.92 by Shubenkov. That is his lifetime best. So, into their blocks then. There is a full complement. In fact, in 1 Brathwaite, in 2 Zsuks, the Hungarian, the Commonwealth champion Levy in 3. Holloway goes in 4, the world number 1. Ortega, Rio Olympic silver medalist, goes in 5. And that a faulty start, I think, rather than a full start. Shubenkov is a metre or 2 down, and 1 or 2 of these fellas so far. His season's best 13.24. That was in the semi-finals of the Russian Championships in Cheboksary. Broad belt does look to be a no-show. Bascu nearest the camera, best of 13.12. That was back in 2016 in Monaco, a renowned fast track. But his best this year, only 13.47. And while that might be a world-class time, it's 2 or 3 meters down on 2 or 3 fellas in this race. He did that at the French Championships. Nadesakal in this high jump, going really well. Unfortunately, I can't give you all the information I would like to give you. Still, our computer system is down. Last height we saw being cleared was 230. Indeed, by Nadesakal, 235. First time of asking. Superb. That is the 3rd highest jump in the world this year. Back to the track. Brathwaite, Zsuks, Levy. Holloway in 4. Watch him. Ortega 5. Shubenkov 6. Bascu, the left of picture in lane 8. You can hardly see him. Well, I thought there was a lot of movement from Zsuks there in lane 2, but Holloway is away and running. He's a great sprinter. Don't forget that. He's a fantastic sprint hurdler as well, and he's moving well away from this field. Shubenkov left a picture, also going strongly. Coming through now with Ortega. Late rush from Ortega, but Holloway wins it by about a metre. Shubenkov held 2nd place until about flight 9, and then Ortega found his legs, or maintained his form, I should say, perhaps a bit better. Came through for 2nd place. And the winning time, 13.08 for Holloway there. Well, it's a little bit slower than he's run this year, 2 or 3 meters slower, but anything under 13.10, Jen, is fantastic.
It is fantastic, but I personally was a little bit disappointed after what we'd already seen in the women's and the men's 100 meters and the women's sprint hurdles, of course. Holloway got off to an absolute flying start, and by hurdle 2 or 3, he already had half a metre, 1 metre against all his opponents. And I actually thought he was going to run away with it, but they came back to him at the end, didn't they? Let's have a look at this again. Here he is in the black, in the centre lane, and he's got a fantastic start. We can see hurdles going all over the place from these other components and from his other compatriots, but I think it was around about hurdle 4. I think he just had to chop his stride slightly, and you can see towards the end, I've never seen that happen in a sprint hurdles. He starts to actually look around. Is there anyone in my left? Is there anyone in my right?
Well, 13.08 for Holloway. This season's best for Ortega in 2nd, 13.15. He came with a late rush, or so it appeared. Shubenkov 3rd, 13.19, improves his season's best as well. Really great champions, and he is a former world champion. Shubenkov do get their timing right, and looks like he is. Ronald Levy the Commonwealth champion, down in 4th place. And then a bit of a gap back to Zhuk and Bascu, who was in real trouble there. And Brathwaite, likewise the Bayesian, in 7th. But Grant Holloway, well, looks untouchable at the moment, doesn't he? He was so quick over the first 2 or 3 flights. He built up most of that winning margin by about hurdle 3. Now, Ivanyuk. That was close. Tell you what, with the bar at 2:35, he is going superbly.
He is. Only 2 men in the world have cleared an advance of 2:35. Ivanyuk himself and Javon Harrison of the US. So this is definitely a height that will test all the competitors out. And again, Tim, you mentioned just 21 days to that action that starts in Tokyo for the athletics. And everyone is rounded into great shape, aren't they? Just at the right time.
They are, yeah, it's no coincidence. These athletes are supreme performers. The majority of them at this meeting and on the circuit at the moment. There's a few who are licking their wounds and trying to make a bit of money and make a point, who haven't made their Olympic teams, weren't able to produce the goods in their domestic championships. But Ivanyuk next to go. Well, he's had 1 failure at 2:35. He's already seen Nadesiko go clear at 2:35, equaling his personal best. That was another very, very close attempt. Akimenko is still in there. He has had 1 failure at 2:35, and he's passing any further efforts. Well, he should be buoyed by those 2 efforts, Ivanyuk. He was very close indeed. Just make sure that bar is in the right place.
Well, there's so much action going on here. We can see the men's triple jump as well. This is the Cuban athlete, Christian Nepols. Great that we can get this split screen. We can follow the action of the men's high jump in these closing stages. And see the early stages of the triple jump as well.
He's a big fella, isn't he? Look at those legs.
He is, and he's a 2-time World Championship finalist in the triple jump. Season's best of over 17 meters, and that first round was 16:63.
Now, Nadesiko. Well, again, our computer on the blink, but we saw him clear 2:35, Nadesiko. So back to the track, and hopefully our computer will start behaving itself. Apologies for that. The system a little rocky at the moment.
So the women's 400-meter hurdles. This is Tatchuk from the Ukraine. She goes out in lane 8. Season's best and a personal best indeed, just 2 nights ago in that fantastic Diamond League race in Stockholm. Leah Sprunger, well, she has said this will be her last year in the sport. She's hung on for 1 more year to make those Tokyo Games. European champion in 2018. And what about this woman? She ran a career best 2 nights ago in that fantastic race in Stockholm, 52:39 for the 5th fastest time ever. She finished 0.02 of a second behind Femke Bol. She goes here in lane 5 for the 4th fastest time ever, 52:37, and made that her 12th national record for this season. Russell of Jamaica, she goes in lane 4. She was the winner of that Jamaican National Championship. She'll be in Tokyo. She was 4th in that race in Stockholm just 2 nights ago. Well, Ashley Spencer, she's got great flat speed. I'm looking at 100 meters, 200 and 400 meter personal bests. She was a bronze medalist 5 years ago now, back in Rio. Haley of the US, she set a personal best this year, 54.24 in Eugene. And in lane 1, Sage Watson of Canada. She's 3-time Canadian national champion. She's got a season's best this year, 55.46. She'll be looking to improve on that. She'll certainly have to do so in order to feature here. We've seen plenty of meet records so far this afternoon. 54.16 from Russell of Jamaica. She features in this race in lane 4. She set that 3 years ago. And I think the form that we've seen from Ball and Little certainly suggests that that meet record will come under threat here. So from the inside, Watson, Haley, Spencer, Russell, Ball, Little, Sprunger, and Tatchuk. So we need to watch those centre lanes. Russell in 4, Ball in 5, Little in 6. Well, how much did that race take out of these athletes just 2 nights ago? Femke Ball started really fast over in Stockholm during that first half of the race, and it was Little who came and really put her under threat during the second half. But Ball it is in lane 5, who has started the faster of the 2. She's up on Little already as we approach 200-metre mark. Well, Femke Ball it is from Little. Russell is going well there in lane 4. And how fast is this one going to be? 52.37 seconds to 52.39. It was 2 evenings ago. And as they come in the straight, it still is Femke Ball with Little putting her under threat on the outside. Russell coming really good on the inside, but it is Femke Ball under attack from Little all the way to the line. Look at the clock. It is a meeting record, slightly slower than in Stockholm a couple of nights ago. 52.82 seconds.
Wow, that was some race. Do you know, these two could hardly be separated in Stockholm, and they could hardly be separated there, but you have to admire Ball, because I think Little was very, very determined to try and turn the tables on the Dutch athlete there. I thought she was going to get there. I have to admit, with about 50 meters to go, with a flight to clear, I thought Little had built up some momentum and would catch her. Coming from behind is sometimes just a little bit easier psychologically. You've got a target, you've got something to run at. But Bull maintained her stride really strong off the final barrier and kept clear. Here you can see Little, who perhaps just goes out a little too conservatively. It is an advantage to be inside somebody, to grab that meter by halfway. Little could not make it up though, and she is superbly fast. We know Shamir Little this year has run a new personal best for 400 on the flat, 49.9. That is a little bit quicker than Ball. In fact, about half a second quicker than Ball, but it's another win for Ball in what is turning out to have been an incredible week, Jenny. Win in Oslo, win in Stockholm, and a win here. And again, under 53 seconds. She is, that consistency again is there.
It is. I think she surprised herself to run so quick the other day, and we can see 2 women there under 53 seconds, and Javi Russell with a season's best of 53.68. Tim, I've been watching Ball all season long, and the first couple of races, she looked a little bit shaky. Lactic acid was definitely creeping in towards the end, but she looks like she's got this event sewn up now.
Well, she does. This is Nikolaos Andrikopoulos of Greece in that triple jump. He's a 1673 jumper normally. And just looking at his marks to date, we're in the early stages, only the first round. He had a no jump in the first round, 1613 actually. That's just starting the second round, that jump. As you can see, the lead is held by Triki of Algeria, 1722. Quite some opener from him. And Ugvabi Sango of Burundi In second was 17.08. Those are the only two over 17 meters so far. Now Desicau. Oh, ho, ho. Wow. And he goes clear. 2:35 first time, 2:37 second time. And he is, we're just waiting for the computer to update. Yeah, that's his second time clearance at 2:37. The bar now at 2:41. Then we're just catching up a little bit with that clearance from the Belarusian. Ivanyuk, by the way, is gone. He had two failures at 2:35 and then took his third attempt at 2:37, failed that. Akimenko, likewise one failure at 2:35 and then two at 2:37. So he is left out there on his own. He's got 2:41 ahead of him, Nadesakal, and he's had one failure so far at that height.
Cambayore. Benjamin Cambayore, European champion back in 2014 in Zurich.
Only second in the French Championships last week in 16.79. Nice steady rhythm there, but not really quick, and that is not a good landing, and he knows that all went wrong. He's a 17.48 triple jumper. Very symmetrical, isn't he? Of course, the meeting record held by a man who's had the most awful luck this year, Christian Taylor, out injured with that ruptured Achilles tendon a few weeks back. 17.93, Christian Taylor jumped here 2 years ago.
Yeah, so Femke, what a race. I mean, what a race. It was a very close battle until the last centimeters. How did you feel yourself?
Yeah, it's exactly the same as Stockholm. We were fighting to the end, and I think that makes both of us better. So I'm really happy that after two races in 1 week, I can still again do 52. So I'm happy and tired now.
Of course, did you expect the same battle here?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was so close, so it's nice to have someone who is just the same level and you're fighting, and I think it really helps so much.
Thank you, well. Good luck for the future.
Yeah, a real confidence booster for Femke Bol. Another sub-53 second time, and saying she's pleased. She's had the strength to come back after Oslo and Stockholm wins to win yet again. Tricky, 17.22 his opener, 17.12, no improvement with that second round effort. Next event on the track, by the way, is the men's 400-meter hurdles. That is yet again a fabulously strong field. Well, the meeting record in the men's one-lap hurdles is held by Yasmani Copello from 3 years back, 48.93, and the Turk goes in lane 6. There's that lineup. Latin, Price, Downing, Bailey, Karuknai, Copello, Lahulu, and Mowat. Kimo Mowat completes the lineup, third in the Jamaican Championships. There is Copello, second in Stockholm in 48.19. Remember the world record broken in Bislett Stadium, what, 5 days ago by Karsten Warholm, 46.70 by the Norwegian. Karoknai, he goes in lane 5. Capello's just outside him in 6th. There's Aldrich Bailey Jr., 4th in the US Championships. Set a personal best in that race in Eugene, what, some 10 days or so ago, 48.55. That's a nice lane draw for him too. He could be a real threat here to Copello, who I think starts as favourite. Quincy Downing, not hit his top form yet this year. He's a 48.1 performer, but only 49.4. That was in Lucerne last week, where he finished in second place. The German champion, Konstantin Price, goes in lane 2. 5th in Oslo in 49.79, behind that world record of Warholm, and I suspect he was too busy watching Warholm run magically well to focus on his own race, perhaps. Amir Latin of the USA is on the inside. Disqualified from his heat in the US Championships. That would have been frustrating. He ran 48.9 in early May in Walnut, California. And then has come over here in the last week or so to Europe. Hasn't yet found his racing legs. Was only 7th in Stockholm in 49.87. He can go well over a second quicker than that. I don't suppose he'll be delighted with his lane draw Latin. So, 5 men already this year under 48 seconds. It's an event that many think is going to be one of the great highlights of Tokyo. Latin goes in 1. Price, the German champion, 2. Quincy Downing in 3 for the USA. Aldrich Bailey Jr. in 4. Karokna of Hungary in 5. Capello goes in 6. Watch him. Lahulu, Algeria, 7. Moet in lane 8 for Jamaica. Well, we'll see who rises first. Good aggressive running lane 3 from Quincy Downing in the white vest, moving towards centre of picture. He's already pulling away from Latin and Price to right of picture, and he's already passed Aldrich Bailey Jr. Also going well now, Capello round halfway in the orange vest, second to left, looking strong out in lane 6. Capello there, but good running too from Kimar Moet. Mustn't discount him. He was 48.75 for 3rd in Stockholm on Sunday, Moet. But Capello in the lead coming into the straight. Great running from Latin on the inside. Has he found those racing legs at last, the American? Latin in 2nd place at the moment. Capello takes the last barrier strongly. Punches hard with the arms for the line. He's going to win this one going away. Latin just hangs on to 2nd place from Price, the German, in lane 2 taking 3rd. But that's a big winning margin from Capello. Big winning margin. Looked very comfortable indeed. 48.35. Well, it is a big improvement on his own meeting record from 3 years back. Some run, Jenny.
It was some run, and we knew he was in shape. He ran a season's best again at that Stockholm Diamond League just 2 evenings ago, 48.19 seconds. And when he actually came in the home straight, it was only Latin on the inside who was giving him a run for his money. It was quite hard to tell, obviously, with there being 5 lanes between the 2 athletes, but 48.35 for a huge win in the end over Latin's 49.06, and Prez, who started really slowly, the German. He came through really strongly towards the end in 3rd place in 49.19 seconds.
We'll take another look at it. He runs a lovely steady race, does Capello. Former Balkan male athlete, Cuban-born Capello. But in those dark glasses, quite a cool performer, isn't he? Very powerfully built too. And frankly, he's in a different class to the rest of this field. He's working hard for this one because he knows he's going to have to find extra meters on a performance even like that, 48.35. He knows full well that Warholm would have been 12 or 14 meters up the road from him. He needs to find a lot more than that in one-off races. And just confirmation of that win for Yasmiani Capello, meeting record 48.35, improving his own mark from 3 years back. Latin and Price, 2nd and 3rd. Now Pichado in this triple jump. Former Cuban, he is the world #1 this year.
Well, he seemed to like that one, didn't he? Here's a replay. He is a 2-time World Championship silver medalist back in 2013 in Moscow and 2015 in Beijing. He has a season's best of 17.69.
And it is big, Jenny. 17.82 from Pichado, the Portuguese. That is monstrous.
What is happening this evening? We saw this in Stockholm a couple of nights ago when everyone just seems to be on fire, and we're seeing that in every event at the moment, which is fantastic if you're a spectator. Here we go, this is Zango. He's a former he's a world bronze medalist from 2 years ago, coached by Teddy Tango, the former world champion, the Frenchman. And how can he respond? Oh, again. You can hear the crowd, can't you? We've not got a big crowd, but they're really enthusiastic.
Well, that mark, sorry, Jenny, that mark by Pichado was a new world best, improves his own world lead with that 17.82 from 17.69. You're right, though. Zango is responding well.
He is. You can always see when athletes started looking at the marker board at the side of them before they've landed. And 17.66, that's just 1 centimetre away from his personal best, which has been set this year.
Well, there it is after 2 rounds of the men's triple jump. The standard, very high indeed. A national record for Zango of Burundi, 17.66. In fact, you're right, Jenny, because his personal best is 17.67 back on the 1st of June. So I'm not sure that national record mark is correct. It says equals national record on our system, but I think we'll just double check. It's 17.67 from Montreuil on the 1st of June.
Yeah, well, that's what I've got, but what's 1 centimetre, Tim? You know, it's up there, isn't it? So he's got a national record at some point, whether it was the 1st of June or this evening. But he's bang up there on his career best form, which again that's what every athlete wants to see going into that major championships. Well, as we're just seeing a huge foul there.
Just looking at Zango's 17.67 in Montreuil. Yep, it was a perfectly legal win. It was an area record. So I'm not sure that 17.66 is actually equaling his national record.
So here we go, this is Arif Turkey. Looks like he's just decided to just take a quick walk back. He looked like he was about to take his next jump, but maybe something just didn't quite feel right. And that's really good experience. He's the reigning European under-23 champion. And he's asking the crowd for their support, and they duly oblige. Here he goes. Second attempt. Oh no. No, he didn't like that one. And back to that high jump.
Yeah, now this account. Now, he's in rather special form. Is the Belarusian. First time clearance at 2:35, second time clearance at 2:37. The bar at 2:41. His 2:37 equals the world lead. It is a national record and a personal best, of course. And he's fulfilling potential that he showed a couple of years back now, Desikau. He was silver medalist in the European Championships in Berlin at the age of just 20. And that's his third and final attempt at 2:41. Signs off there, but so nearly a member of the 240 club. That is a club that only has some, about 14 members. Sotomayor's world record still out there tantalizingly beyond the likes of Barshim, who is jumping well this year. Great to see him back after the bad injuries of the last couple of years.
I was going to say that, Tim. You know, it's not many times that we're actually treated to seeing a bar in excess of 240. So just that he's had that attempt at it is fantastic for him.
Absolutely right. Yeah, his that clearance elevates him to equal world number 1 with Ivanyuk, and he's defeated Ivanyuk today. Ivanyuk could only manage, the Russian could only manage 2:33 in this contest.
So this is the lineup for the women's 200 meters. A real quality field. We'll be able to meet all the athletes individually very shortly. Just look at that lineup. Look at those personal bests. We've got 3 women there with personal bests in the 21-second range. And that is where we're expecting a lot of the action to come from. As we've already seen, it's a glorious evening. I think conditions have rarely been this good this season. When athletes are looking to peak, this is a last competition for many of them, and the conditions are favourable. We can see there's been some great performances. So back to that men's triple jump. We've got 10 competitors going in this one. Tricky there from Algeria. He's done a personal best this season of 17:31. Just trying to see where he landed there. It looked like he pulled up short, actually. So I doubt that's a great distance. Oh, 16.88, just under 17. His best remains 17.22 from that first round.
That lead from Pichardo is going to take some catching. 17.82 in the second round. Zango 17.66, his second round effort in response, equaling the national record, the Burundian, according to our computer. And the Algerian Triki opened with 17.22, lying in third. Only those three over 17 meters at the moment. Now Napoles of Spain next to go. Cuba, excuse me. Didn't jump in the second round. Don't know if he's carrying a niggle. 16.63 his opener. No jump second round, and that one is a foul, I'm afraid, from the Cuban. I find that frustrating, although his season's best is only 17.03. Yeah, that red flag shooting up straight away. Wow. Big no jump. Very clear no jump, I should say. He's only had 4 competitions so far this year, all of them in Havana. Maybe Napoles trying to find his competition legs after some recent travel. Max Hess next to go then. European champion in Amsterdam back in 2016, the German. He's still only 24. Lifted that title when he was 19 years old, Hess. But he holds the German indoor record. And with 17.13 in Chortsov a month or so ago, about 5 weeks ago, he's not far off his lifetime best, which was set in Amsterdam 5 years back. No, just ran out of momentum, didn't he, there? He had 2 no jumps in rounds 1 and 2. Wind, well, it is in their favor, plus 1.9 behind his first effort. Pichardo, by the way, that monstrous jump, 17.82, the world lead, had a 0.9 wind behind it. Yes, playing a risky game. He's right on the front edge of the board there to get 16.58 and move into 6th place. Needs to get some mark up.
Well, Tim, as we were looking at that triple jump, we just saw Malakowski from Poland. He started his discus competition. Unfortunately, it just hit the side of the cage. It went off to the right-hand side. But the great man, he's set to retire at the end of this season. Let's see how he does in Tokyo.
Well, this is Gudzius, Andreas Gudzius in the discus, taking his second round effort. He opened with 64.22. No prizes for guessing the leader after the first round. Daniel Stoll of Sweden, the world champion, putting one out to 65.20. They haven't hit the big marks yet, of course. Stoll capable of over 70. 64.97, so a small improvement for Gudzius, but stays in second, although he's only, what, 23 centimeters down on Stoll now, who is vulnerable at this early stage.
Well, we're swapping and changing between the events, and we've just seen Ibeira of Portugal there, 37 years of age now. He's the former Olympic champion in the triple jump back in Beijing in 2008. And he didn't like that one at all, and he just actually walked through the pit. So 3 no jumps so far.
Scott then. Next to go, Donald Scott, opened with 16.44, as you can see, then a 16.12 for the American. He was second in the US Championships, but maybe jet-lagged in Oslo, was only 6th in Norway last Thursday. 15.92 is a pretty dismal competition for Scott, actually. He is a 17.43 jumper from a couple of years back, and 17.18 this year was in those US Olympic trials. Scott, 16.74, finds a little bit more in the third round, moves into 4th place, or yes, 4th place for Scott, still only leading 3 over 22 meters.
And Daniel Stoll has had 2 attempts now in the discus throw. He's not looking impressed with his attempts. He is some 5 meters down on what he's achieved so far this year. And again, if we look at the top of the screen, we can follow this men's discus, and we can follow the men's triple jump at the bottom of the screen. Amazing that we can bring this technology to you. A lot of people, obviously in athletics, have got favorite events, and it's great to see the field eventers getting their moment to shine.
Feferica of Romania taking his third round effort there. He's in 9th place with 60.55 in round 2. As we go back to this triple jump, and that looks like a big jump from Zango.
It does, Tim, and he was so flat-footed as well on his step. I actually thought he didn't get much projection off the ground at all, but what do I know? He went out to a huge distance.
Oh, 17.82 for Zango as well, the same as Pichardo, and on countback he moves into the lead. His series is fantastic, 17.08, 17.66, and then 17.82. It's an area record, it's a world lead equaling performance, it's equaling the meeting record, of course, from Pichardo, and a personal best to boot. There's the card after 3 rounds of the men's triple jump. What a battle between the Burundian and the Portuguese. The Algerian Triki, pretty isolated there in 3rd place, jumping well, but nowhere near that leading pair. Early stages of the 3rd round in that discus. Can tell you that Britain's Lawrence Okoye, 64.15 and 64.17, lying in 3rd place. He's throwing okay behind the big pair Stoll and Gudzius.
Well, we can come back to that women's 200 metres. There is the lineup. Akikosen on the inside, Cascotti in lane 2, Bryant in 3. Oh, and in fact, let's look at this woman, Daphne Schippers. She needs no introduction. She will go in lane 7. Shawnee Miller-Weibo, world ranking of number 2. Fantastic personal best of 21.74 seconds. She has said she's going to double up in Tokyo. She's reversed a decision. She is going to go in the 2 as well as the 4. And this is Sharika Jackson of Jamaica. We saw her, she was a winner of the Diamond League in Stockholm just a couple of days ago. She powered through all the way at the end and overtook Talou, who'd started much the quicker. Kambunji of Switzerland, she will go in lane 4. She's been at the forefront of European sprinting for a number of years now. Bryant from the US, she's a sub-11 second sprinter for the 100 metres. She was 6th in the national championships over 200 metres recently in Eugene. Cassotti there from Hungary. She was 3rd in the national championships. Personal best this year, 23.71 seconds. And I did mention this woman earlier, Akinsonen of the US. She is drawn in lane 1. The athlete we didn't see is Desiree Henry of Great Britain. She will go in lane 8. So from the inside, Akisosen, Kashu, Bryant, Kambunji, Jackson, Miller-Weibo, Schippers and Henry. Sharika Jackson, sub 11 seconds, sub 22 and sub 50 over the 4. She's got the speed, she's got the strength. Fascinating contest between herself and Miller-Weibo. So it is Miller-Weibo who's already up on Daphne Schippers on her outside, but Jackson started very well there. It's Jackson who's actually ahead off the turn. Kambunji's going well on her inside. Miller-Weibo, we expect her to come strong. What can she do? But Jackson it is who's going to take the win in 21.97 seconds. Another meeting record. Well, it has been rounded down, 21.96 seconds. That's just outside her season's best and her personal best, which she set this year. Miller-Weibo there, 22.15 seconds. And Daphne Schippers, well, she did well to get 3rd position in this stellar field, 22.70, ahead of Kambunji, 22.74.
Yeah, Skipper's trying desperately to find that form of a few years back, isn't she? When she thinks she's the 4th fastest athlete in history. But Jackson, very, very quick around the bend. Built a lead on Miller Weibo, caught her off the bend, and kept clear there by 1.5 meters. Despite the best efforts of the Bahamian, Miller Weibo trying to come back, and I remember she's the Olympic 400 champion. I expected her to close more in the last 50, but Jackson very, very quick indeed. Of course, she's a great 400 runner herself with that Olympic bronze from Rio, and combine that with her superior 100 speed 10.77, and that's why she's staying clear and got the strength to set that meeting record, and a very impressive win, Jenny.
It was, and I think that 200 meters is wide open, isn't it, come Tokyo? Real fascinating contest. Well, straight back to the action, and we're still following the men's triple jump as well as the discus.
Napoles in this triple jump then, lying in 5th place at the moment with 16.63. He's not particularly happy with his form by the looks of things. No. Not quite sure what's going wrong for Napoles, the Cuban. He knows his stuff. He was 4th in the World Championships in London back in 2017, 4 years ago. He's only 22 now, so he was a bit of a prodigy. 4th in the World Championships at the age of 18, in what is a very tough event physically. And that men's discus continues as well. We're in the still in the 3rd round. Lawrence Okoye, no throw with his 3rd effort, unfortunately. 64.17 remains his best. He has got some big names behind him. Jasinski in 4th, Frederick Dakers of Jamaica in 5th, Christoph Harting in 6th place, and Simon Pettersson of Sweden in 7th. The only man to have defeated Stoll this year. Stoll's won 9 of his 10 contests this season so far. Pettersson, the one man to get ahead of him, was in Sweden back in 7th. Malakowski next to go. As that triple jump unfolds for Scott, who's lying in 5th place. And Scott, 16.74 with his 3rd round effort. No improvement with that 4th round jump. Malakowski opened with 59.80, then a no throw in the 2nd round. Delighted with that one either. Of course, he's been a great servant in the Polish vest in major championships. Malakowski, 38 years old now. I think his best years are behind him. The world champion back in 2015. And he's one of that 70-meter plus club, but it was 8 years ago through 71.84. His best this year, just over 64.5. The triple jump. Algerian in 3rd place, tricky, frustrated with his efforts. 17.22 remains his best. That came in the 1st round, as we see Gudjus Jen in the taking his 3rd round effort.
Yeah, this discus has really not caught fire yet. Oh, and I say that, and that actually looks like that could be one of the furthest throws so far that we have seen. One competitor so far, and it is Daniel Stahl, who has gone over 65.
Well, he does snatch a small lead though, Gudjus. 65.50 in round 3. He finds 5 centimeters more than Stahl managed with his 2nd round effort, but the Swede goes next.
And over to the track, and this is the men's 200 meters. We've got 2 races. Such is the quality of athletes who wanted to be at this meet. And I think we've already seen from the performances, no wonder why they do want to be here. So we're just meeting, I think we just saw Mate there of Hungary. This is Gyulai of Turkey, he goes in lane 5. This is Ododuru of Nigeria. He's looking very calm, isn't he? He will go in lane 4. He's got a personal best of 19.73 and a season's best of 19.88 seconds. Well, this is the man of the moment. We've already seen him in the 100 meters. And I did just catch a quick glance that his time was actually rounded down to 9.84 seconds, not 8.5 as we thought. So can he bring this form, Simbine, to the 200 meters? Ellis of Jamaica goes in lane 2. He's run a 100-meter personal best this year, just outside 10 seconds, 10.04. And Lendori of Trinidad and Tobago, he will go in lane 1. Former 400-meter athlete as well. He's got a personal best over the 400 meters of 44.36 seconds. And 2 athletes that we didn't see. We didn't pick up Adam Jamili. If he's recovered from that 100 meters, he'll go in lane 7. We can see him there. And Edward of Panama goes in lane 8. So the full lineup is, from the inside, Lendori, Ellis, Sembini, Odeduru, Guliev, Mate, Jamili, and Edward. Simbini's personal best has been set this year, 19.95 seconds. That was back in March in Pretoria. We know he's in personal best shape over the 100 meters. What can he do over the 200? Well, it was Odeduru who started best in lane 4. Simbini actually looks like he's got work to do. Adam Jamili out there in lane 4, but it was Odeduru who's going well. Jamili is going well. And here comes Simbini. He's showing the strength as well as the speed. Can he take it? He does. 20.26 seconds. Well, it's the first time I've seen the wind reading this evening. It is minus 1.1 meters per second in the deficit. So the athletes are running into a slight headwind. 20.25 seconds. Edward did run well, didn't he, on the outside. He was coming really strong at the end. 20.29. And Odeduru has got the nod for third, ahead of Jamili, 20.38.
Well, Jamili there, 20.41, and it's for the Briton season's best, significant season best, although nowhere near the 19.9 that he is capable of. But what a double from Simbine, the South African, going really well. And let's not forget that he won the 100 earlier with that meeting record 9.85, a new personal best. And he came late too. He held his form well. He didn't panic when Divine Odeduru in lane 4, there in the white top and blue shorts, centre of picture, came off the bend with a pretty substantial lead. But Odeduru blasted the bend, maybe just didn't save enough. And you know, it is an endurance event, the 200. You have to gauge your effort over the 2 halves. And Simbine did that much better. Really good running, as you said, Jenny, rightly. The Panamanian Alonso Edward coming through for second place.
Yeah, and we can just tie up that result. Simbini 20.25, Edward 20.29, Odeduru 20.38. And if we look a little bit further down, the former world champion there in 7th place, Guliev 20.90. That suggests that he's got quite a lot of form to find ahead of Tokyo.
Okay, well, let's go back to this discus and update you with what's been happening. I can tell you that Stoll, with his third round effort, went out to 67.71 as soon as there was a little threat from Gudzius, who eased into the lead with his third round effort of 65.50. Stoll went out to 67.71 to give himself a couple of meters plus margin. Frederick Dakers next to go, as there's a no jump in that triple jump. Dakers lying in 5th place at the moment. This is 4th round effort. His best 63.06 came in round 2. Not throwing as well as he would like, Dakers, when you think that he is the World Championship silver medalist. He is a 70-meter plus thrower. Won here back in 2018 and took the Jamaican title recently with nearly 64.5 meters. 65.08, so he finds a bit more, Dakers, moves into 3rd. So becomes the 3rd man to go over 65. And in that triple jump, just to update you. Still
Shadow in the lead with a 17.92 in round 4, as we see Hess taking his 5th round effort. He's only had one valid jump. He no jumped rounds 1 and 2. 16.58 in round 3, passed round 4, and now no jump in round 5. Struggling maybe with the wind, which seems like it might be picking up a bit, Jen.
Yeah, definitely. That 200 metres was the first time we have had a negative wind here this evening. And I think those athletes have took huge advantage of these great weather conditions. So there may just be a touch of wind in the stadium now. As we're seeing images of Lawrence Okoye. Lawrence is getting back towards his personal best shape. Oh, and as I say that, he just sends the discus off into the cage. He's laughing at that one. He is the British national record holder. He threw 68.24 in Germany, in Halle, one of the big throws competitions back in 2012, so 9 years ago now. But he has thrown 67.13 this year in Sweden, just last month. So great to see him back. So this is the second 200 metres of this evening. We can just see Richards there of Trinidad and Tobago. He's just taking his time, he's relaxing. He's just sat on his lane marker, stood up now. He's a sub 20-second performer at his very best. 20.20 seconds this season. He did do that over in the US in one of our very early Continental Tour meetings. Wow, what about this young man? Just 17 years of age. Look at that personal best, 19.84 seconds. He is the world under 18 and the world under 20 record holder. He will be in Tokyo in that US vest. He was 3rd at the national championships, a remarkable achievement. Brown from Canada, he will go in lane 6. He was the winner of the 100 and the 200 metres at those Canadian championships. DeGrasse, the silver medalist in the 200 metres from Rio. He's been in great shape this year. Almost personal best shape indeed, 19.89 seconds. Ben Nerick, an American athlete in great shape. He's run 100 metres personal best, 9.89. He's got a 400 metre personal best of sub 45 seconds, and he was 2nd at the US National Championships. He will go in the 200 metres in Tokyo. I think we just caught a glimpse of Young there. He's, again, another athlete in tremendous shape. He's run 100 metres personal best this year, a sub 200 metres, 20 seconds for the sub 200 metres as well. Lyles, he obviously doesn't get enough credit as the brother of Noah Lyles, the reigning 200 metre world champion. He goes in lane 2. And Blake, he will feature in Tokyo, not in an individual event, but he has been named in the 4x100 metre relay team. I think we saw him last week actually in Big Gosh. He came 2nd over the 200 metres last week in the Continental Tour over in Poland. So absolute quality in every lane in this event. From the inside, we've got Blake, we've got Lyles, Young, Bednarek, DeGrasse, Brown, Knighton. He's making his professional European debut here at this meet, as so many others have before him. And Richards in lane 8. So watch the youngster in lane 7. We've got Brown in 6, DeGrasse 5, Bednarek in lane 4. Well, DeGrasse looks like he's started really well. So does Knighton, the 17-year-old. And actually in the headband, it is Bednarek who looks like he's running really, really well. DeGrasse has got something to say about that, and DeGrasse it is who just gets ahead of him on the line. Sub 20 seconds, 19.98. Well, in fact, it's been rounded down for DeGrasse. 19.97 seconds. Well, he really is back in great shape, isn't he? And Ben Nerrick is given second place. He ran such a good bend, 19.93. And look at that, Knighton, the 17-year-old. He brings his form over from the US to Europe in his professional debut, 20.03 seconds, finishing ahead of a stellar lineup.
Well, that is a great run between those two, just to dip under 20 seconds, isn't it? Wind at 1.2 behind them. De Grasse, well, he's rounding into form nicely too. He promised so much in Rio and then didn't really come through with the goods in the following couple of years, but he's having a nice season and raising his game with those Olympic medals being dangled in front of him, so to speak, in less than a month's time. The American in second place, I'm assured, by the way, with recent information that's come through, that you pronounce it Bednarek. It's a silent D, and you emphasize the NAR in the middle. It's really strange, because I think most people would say Bednarek, but it is Bednarek, Kenneth Bednarek, who takes second place, and Arian Knighton just on the door, knocking on the door of sub-20. Josephus Lyles, the brother of more famous Lyles, down in seventh. Beautiful setting, Jen, isn't it? Wow. Well, we can move to middle distance action now. Men's 3,000 meters, 7.5 laps of the track. And there it is, Mukhtar Edris, twice world champion and reigning world champion at 5,000 meters, retained his title in Doha from London 2017. Against all odds, he'd shown no form at all in the 2019 season. The pacemaker, Kemai, Josphat Kemboy Kemai. We have no pace information, by the way, on this meeting so far. And I rather feel that they will be going for a quick time. Kiss of Hungary is in there. He's a pacemaker as well, I think, 148 performer. Dinkelem Ayele, only 13.28 for 5,000. But has represented Ethiopia in the World Junior Cross Country. Suspect a breakthrough on the way from him. Telahun Haile Bekele, 12.52 performer and 7.38 at 3,000. Joshua Bellet of Kenya, better known as a road racer. He's run 28.5 for 10,000 on the roads, and just inside 61 for a half marathon. Adisu Yihun of Ethiopia, Ihune, I think, 12.58 for 5,000 from him earlier on this summer. That was a fourth in Hengelo. And then Richard Yato, well, a bronze medalist in the World Under-20 cross country back in 2017, and a 7.45 performer at 3,000. Tadesse Worku, silver medalist in the Under-20 race in Aarhus in Belgium, in Denmark 2 years back. Yasin Haji of Ethiopia, the 25-year-old, is a 7.41 runner. Although that was 6 years ago, he's still only 25. Won the World Under-20 cross country in 2015, Haji. And there is Mukhtar Edris of Ethiopia. Now, I rather suspect there might be a few young lads in this one who are getting blooded, so to speak, in this 3,000, but might be there to help Edris through to a quick time. He's a 7.32 runner. That was 4 years ago. And, of course, his 5,000 back in 2014, 12.54. Doesn't mark him as one of the quickest in history, but he has a reputation as a great racer, does Mukhtar Edris. Nearest the camera there in the black vest. He was only 13th in Florence back in early June with 13.25. How much fitness has he put on top of that performance? The 27-year-old. Reigning world champion at 5,000. Well, a small field for 7.5 laps of the track. What will Edris do here? Will he go for something fast? The Ethiopian Olympic team doesn't include Edris. Their trio at 5,000 is Mengesha, Melak, and Getnet Wale. And their 10,000 trio, Arigawi, Asberehu Arigawi, Salamon Barega, and Yomif Kajelcha. You just know, don't you, Jenny? Anybody in a Kenyan vest or an Ethiopian vest at a major championships is going to be a major force.
Yeah, we've seen it over the years, haven't we? There's such a dominant two nations at these longer distances. And I think we can see straight away that the intention is to run a quick time. Kiss there from Hungary is another one of the pacemakers. So when the meet organizer puts 2 pacemakers in, you always know that somebody in the field has asked for a quick time. So we'll follow this one intently. But really, really interesting, Tim. You know, you've already mentioned that quite a lot of these athletes have got caliber over the cross country, not necessarily ran quick times on the track. So definitely a blooding in for some of these youngsters. You know, we've got 18 and we've got 19-year-olds, and this will be the first time that a lot of these athletes have competed over in Europe.
Zango on top left of screen. He jumped 17.82 in the second round, and then saw Pichardo go up to 17.92 in round 4. So he's really stretching for the victory here. Is Zango. No jump for him in round 5, and Pichardo is passing round 5 as he did round 3. So the Portuguese sitting pretty, and I wonder if he'll take his 6th round jump. Watching this 3,000 unfold, big gaps appearing already. Edris doesn't look too bothered, does he? 4th from the back, he's right back in the pack at the moment. Clearly 13.25 in Florence, what, some 3 or 4 weeks ago, suggests he is struggling. Must have been carrying an injury, I think, through at least a slab of the spring period, because even if you're injured through most of the winter, an athlete of his caliber could rustle up better than 13.25 with just a few weeks training.
Well, I'm still following that men's triple jump with interest, and I know Pichardo has jumped 18.08 previously, and it is a personal best this evening for Zango, but I'm just looking, that same marker that they've both done, 17.82, that mark is the 16th best in history. So absolutely amazing to see 2 men here at the top of their game just a couple of weeks before the major championships.
Yeah, that was Hess we just saw taking his 6th and final round jump, 16.15 for him, so no improvement. He stays in 8th place with that 3rd round, 16.58. He's only had 2 valid marks. Nekati Er of Turkey will be next to go. His best 16.62. Well, I say his best. His only valid mark from 5 jumps so far was in round 1. Worku in that 3,000 meters, just 19 years old. He's gone out pretty hard. And they are stretched out early on. That would suggest it's quick. The first kilometer, 2:27 by Kip Kemoy. 2:27.72, 1K, really fast.
Well, he's on his own now, hasn't he? So we've just seen the second pacemaker just step to the side. There's almost a little bit of confusion, and Worku, the young athlete, he's looking a couple of times, a few sideways glances, a few backwards glances. He's trying to decide, is anyone going to come? Is anyone going to go and help him? And it's that difficult decision now, isn't it? Whether you push on the pace or you try to actually win the race itself. 3 laps to go then. Worku it is who leads. Edris has found his way back. He's been leading that chasing group, and the distance is just a couple of meters now.
Well, it is, and Edris has a deceptive style, doesn't he? A sort of rakish stride he's got. Doesn't have a high back kick like so many of the top middle distance runners, and yet he does have that fabulous sprint finish, speed, endurance. Just waiting for the 2 kilometer mark to come up. There is 5:01.42. Well, nowhere near as fast as the first kilometer, but it's still pretty tasty, and I still think there's the potential for this race to go under 7:30. Worku has let it slow since he's been at the front on his own. That's why Edris has been able to close up.
Well, only one man in the world has got under 7:30 this year. Is Kajelka. That was at Oslo at the beginning of this month, 7:26.25. So anything under 7:30 would be fantastic, and we can actually just see Edris there. He has took the lead with 2 laps to go.
Yeah, 5:01.42 means that second kilometre was what, around 2:33 and a half after a 2:27. I thought the opening kilometres were a little bit ambitious. Don't think the wind has picked up significantly, by the way, but it is Edris who leads with 600 to run. He goes through there in about 6:01. If he can produce a last lap of around 58 seconds, he may yet go under 7:30. And Edris's lifetime best, 7:32. He could be on for a personal best here, so perhaps he has dragged himself into good shape since Florence, where he could manage only that 13:25. That was his last race. It was on the 10th of June, so the best of a month ago. He's been working hard, hasn't he? The world champion there, right of picture. Goes through the bell in about 6:32. Could be on for a personal best here. Nobody really to race against. He's got a gap of about 5 or 6 meters there on the second placer.
Well, he is going away with every stride now, isn't he? And I think he's timed this one to perfection. Definitely looks like he could be heading towards a personal best. And I've been quite impressed with Worku as well. His personal best is 7:37, so he just has to carry on and keep working hard that last 200 meters, and he could get a personal best as well. But looking now at Edris, he's gritting his teeth, isn't he? This is hard work. What has he got this last 100 meters?
Well, he's got about 25 meters on the second placer. Is he going to break 7:30? It's going to be mighty close, as you say quite rightly, Jenny. Just one sub 7:30 clocking this year. I don't think he's going to make it, but surely it could be a personal best. His best is 7:32.31. Breaks it there by almost a second and a half. Not the finishing speed yet, but he's got 3 weeks in which to put that sort of layer of icing on the racing cake, hasn't he, Edris? I say that, but he's not in the Olympic team, so what am I talking about? I'm just assuming that a world champion will be in their Olympic squad. It's almost unthinkable for any other nation. Oh dear, the Ethiopians have such astonishing strength in depth, and you do get quite often 1 or 2 names in their trios at major championships who are relatively unknown outside of Ethiopia, but who come through from hard training and the great systems they have with their massive squads in Addis to making the teams. Edris hasn't made it, 7:30.96. Well, he will find that frustrating because he runs a personal best. It would suggest to me that he's back in 13-minute shape or quicker at 5,000, but he hasn't got a ticket to Tokyo.
Yeah, and it's all about getting that ticket to Tokyo, isn't it, from some of these nations in the distance races. The Ethiopians and the Kenyan trials are very, very difficult, very much like the US is in every event, really. So Zango it is, on the runway, in the triple jump. Well, that certainly doesn't look as far. And he waves to the crowd. He's had a great evening, hasn't he? Well, he is going to go away with a personal best, which also signifies a national record. But can he go away with the win? 17.82. He's still in second place. Well, he will finish in second place, of course. So Pichardo will take that victory, and here's confirmation. Pichardo does get the victory, 7.92 on countback. Oh, sorry, 7.92 to 7.82. I think I missed that one, Tim, with all the action that's been going on. A world lead, he actually went 10 centimetres further. I completely missed that one. What a men's triple jump that we had.
So Stuhl then, Daniel Stuhl, 6th and final round. He has the win in the bag, 67.71 in round 3 when there was a threat being suggested by Gyulai, who took the lead by a few centimetres in round 3 with 65.50. He banged one out 67.71. He's fouled out in rounds 4 and 5, and that is just beyond 65. Don't know if it's as good as Gyulai's 65.50, but he has the best throw of the meeting, and that's all you need, of course. And Stuhl, what can he close with? 65.44. Well, he wins by just over a couple of meters. He does rack up his 10th win out of 11 competitions this year. Stuhl wins from Gyulai, 67.71 to 66.71, actually. Gyulai did improve in round 4, and then Dakers in 3rd place with 65.08. That came in the 4th round for him. Lawrence Okoye of Britain, no throws in rounds 4, 5, 6. after 64.17 was his best in round 2. Only 2 valid throws for the Briton. And Jenny, Edris there, Worku and Yehune making it a 1-2-3, indeed, a 1-2-3-4-5 for Ethiopia in that 3,000 metres. Edris must be thinking, so near yet so far. If only I could have been fit in time for the trials.
It was a new record. How did you feel yourself? Because you said to me that you're more than tired right now.
Yeah, I try for my PB and course record this for I think for I ran course record and my PB, but course record this I ran course record. I'm happy, but my BP is no. Before 7:32 is PB. Today I try for 30 or 29, I think, but today is 7:30.
Okay, thank you so much and congratulations again.
Yeah, he did want sub 7:30, didn't he? Wasn't to be, unfortunately. Well, just a couple of races left on the track now, the men's 800 and the men's 400. And there is the lineup for this 800 meters. And that is a very, very strong field indeed. Clayton Murphy, the US champion, goes in there against Elliot Giles, the British champion, against Rotich, who's run 1:43 this year, but got it all wrong. Well, I'd say got it all wrong. He didn't win the Kenyan Championships, finished in 2nd place. There is McBride. Brandon McBride, 8th in the World Championships back in 2017. Hasn't had any races yet this year. He's a 1:43 performer, the Canadian. His nickname, Junebug, Brandon McBride. There is Ferguson Chariot Rotich, bronze medalist in the World Championships in Doha, the 31-year-old. He was a 2nd in the Kenyan Championships and then a winner, very impressively, in Stockholm just 2 days ago, 1:43.84. Clayton Murphy, well, the bronze medalist famously in Rio. That was quite a surprise, but he's probably in his best form since then in the recent weeks, winning the US title in 1:43.1 in Eugene a couple of weeks back. Cornelius Tuwai, only 10th in the Kenyan Championships, but he ran 1:43 in Belgium just a few days ago. And Jamie Webb on the inside there, only 5th in the UK Championships. He's the European Indoor silver medalist from 2019 and ran very fast indoors this winter, did Webb. I suspect he's tired, mind you, since the British Championships 10 days ago. He's run in Bydgoszcz, where he was 2nd. He's run in Stockholm, where he was only 8th, looking very tired indeed. So Webb on the inside, Tuwai in lane 2. Murphy goes in lane 3 with that just that one armband on his right arm. Rotich is in 4 with that forward lean style of his. Pacemaker moving right across from the outside. So I think John Fitzsimmons. And it looks quick. They're going with it.
They are. I was really impressed with Fitzsimmons, actually. He went out hard. You have to get out hard in a race like this, but you had a look around and he saw whether the appetite was there, and Tui has followed him and the appetite looks like it is there.
In fact, it's Sawinski, my mistake. Sawinski acting as pacemaker here. He's a great 600-meter performer. It's probably his best distance, Sawinski, and he's gone out very fast, 51.05. Well, it's not very fast. I would say the pack have gone out very slow. If Sawinski was 51.05, then behind him is that Tuwai moving down the back straight with fully a 12-meter lead over Elliot Giles, but the pack must have gone through, well, in about 52.5, 53 seconds. It's bizarre. There was about a 15-meter gap at 400. Giles kicking from the front. Murphy on his shoulder, though. Webb in 4th place, running down the leader now. Murphy perfectly poised. He's got good strength. He's a 3:52 miler. It is Tuwai out in front indeed. Beginning to look tired now as Giles kicks again. Has he got the legs, the British champion, to hold the American champion at bay? I think he has. And this is a much better run from Webb into 3rd place. It's Giles, Webb into 2nd, Murphy 3rd, and coming down across the line there. Just trying to see who that was in 4th place. I think it might have been McBride. But that is a fabulous run from Giles, 1:44.89. He's turning into a great racer. Now, his lifetime best, Jen, 1:44.05 in Stockholm, just a couple of days ago, where he finished 3rd.
is impressive. He's in great form. But to come back 48 hours later with another 1:44 clocking and a win, and it was a really smart race from Giles, is most impressive.
It really is. He's the 4 times British champion. He's one of those youngsters who came through quite a few years ago now. I remember he got a bronze medal at the European Championship, in Amsterdam in 2016. And if I think how much has improved since then, he's getting such a great racer, isn't he? Ran a huge personal best over 1,500 metres this year, took his personal best down all the way to 3 minutes 33. And that really showed in that closing 100 metres. But Tim, what I was most impressed about is he ran the race. Clayton Murphy was there, and I'm sure one of the reasons that Elliot Giles would have wanted to race this evening was to actually put a benchmark against Clayton Murphy. We know he's a winner of the US trials. We know he's an Olympic bronze medalist from Rio. We know he's a big time performer. So I'm sure Elliot Giles just wanted to come here and win. And I was very impressed actually with the finish time, considering how slow it was through the first half of the race.
That's a good point, because just looking, the Sawinski was 51.05. I mean, that pack was certainly well outside 52 seconds through 400. Giles wins 1:44.89 from Jamie Webb, who came through strongly. Good run from Webb. He's come back well after disappointment in Stockholm, 1:45.12. Murphy, I think, can probably say I've got jet-lagged legs here. There's more to come from him. 1:45.20.
Congratulations. Very tricky conditions today now in Hungary, in Szekesfehervar. The temperature is very hot, very humid. So how was that for you?
Oh, it sounds like preparation for Tokyo, so it's great. No complaints.
Just that? You're more than confident, 100%.
Oh yeah, confident going into what I'm coming on next. That was quite tactical. I think I went through quite slow at the bell, so I'd be interested to see what my splits were, because it felt really slow. And I just tried to keep it relaxed the whole way. And yeah, it was one of those races that just felt really smooth, which is good.
Thank you. Congrats and good luck in Tokyo.
Thank you.
So, még egyszer.
Well, I was impressed with Elliot Giles. He sort of kicked again with about 70 to go, didn't he, Jenny? Winning there in 1:44.89, beating Webb and Murphy pretty impressively. Brandon McBride it was indeed who came through 4th place. And the Kenyans on this occasion, Rotich and Tuwai, just 5th and 6th.
Well, there is that men's triple jump result. Pachado did go out all the way to 17.92, an agonising 8 centimetres short of that 18-metre line, which of course we'd love to see. Zango did do 17.82, and Tricky there actually from Algeria in 3rd place with a national record.
Well, just the one track race to come. It is the men's 400 metres, an event that Jenny is very familiar with. Jen, you were a 400-metre specialist before you moved up to 800. Quite late in your career. It sort of gave you a second life in your career, didn't it?
It did. We're just seeing the results. I must mention those of the men's discus. Daniel Stahl, he did actually go out to 67.71. It took a long time for that competition to heat up, didn't it? But it was great once it did. Goodis there, 66.71, and in 3rd place, I think I just missed it actually. 3rd place, Tim, did you see it?
It was Dacus.
Dacus, 65.02.
Well, there is just this one track event left. I'll try and update you with some of the other results from the field events that we weren't able to cover in full as this next few minutes passes by. But Jenny, over to you for a race that I know that you used to love.
I did used to love this race, but it hurts, Tim. It hurts. The faster you run, it hurts just as much. This is a thrilling one. We're really excited to see the man who we'll see in lane 4, Wade van Niekerk, the world record holder, of course. But we're just seeing images now from the outside. This is McDonald from Jamaica. He was 5th in those Jamaican national championships. Deadman here of the US, he has run a personal best of 44.44 seconds. That was in Eugene. Such is the depth in the US. He could only finish 7th in those national championships. Stephen Gardner, well, he does come here every year. It's one of his favourite meets. He's 6th on the all-time list, 43.43 seconds. And he is ranked #1 on the world ranking list this year. Michael Norman, well, he is the US champion. He will be going to Tokyo. He's the 5th all-time. One of those few athletes in history who's run sub 10, 20 and 44 seconds. Well, we're seeing images there of Michael Cherry. He was 2nd in the US championships. So again, he will be going to Tokyo. He ran a personal best of 44.35 seconds there. We've just seen Dobber. He ran so well indoors. He was part of that Dutch squad that won the World Relays as well as the European indoors. He was 2nd at the national championships. And Pile there of South Africa, he's run a personal best this year of 45.53 seconds. So my eye is going back to lane 4. Wade van Niekerk. Of course, it's great to see him back running, back fit. He won his national championships. He decided to go over the 200 metres there on that occasion. And if we can cast our minds back 5 years ago now, those scenes from Rio where he broke the world record, he smashed it, didn't he? 43.03 seconds. So from the inside, Pillay, Dobber, Cherry, Van Niekerk, Norman, Gardner, Deadman and McDonald. 1 lap of the track. So here we go, the men's 400 metres. And it does look like we can see the headband there of Norman. He's started well. Gardner there, out in lane 6. He's gone well, and Deadman in lane 7. He started incredibly well, hasn't he? Well, I'm actually just looking at this, and we are missing Van Niekerk. Really hard to see, and it wasn't on our screens, but yeah, well, let's look at this race now, and it is Deadman there in lane 7. Gardner just tiring up a little bit. Can he come through at the end? We're used to him coming through towards the end, and indeed it was 44.47 seconds. That actually is a season's best for him. Oh, and Tim, I'm just going back through that lane draw. It was very hard to see from the beginning. I know we didn't see Van Niekerk on our screens, and I think all of the men were actually just given 1 lane. Dobber came into the lane and Pillay came 1 lane inside. So we were expecting to see Van Niekerk. Nothing certainly came up on our screen that he wasn't there. I was actually wondering whether it was my own mistake that I didn't see him straight away from the start line, and what a shame, but taking nothing away from this race. Steve Nagada came through towards the end to claim a great victory.
Yeah, Steve Gardner, well, he is the reigning world champion, and kind of a bit below the radar in a way, because so much attention is focused upon Mike Norman and Van Niekerk's comeback, but that is a lovely run. Season's best for him, 44.47 for the Bahamian. He's timing things just perfectly. Deadman, 44.58, held on well. He went out so hard from lane 7. And Mike Norman, 44.65. I know I've said it a few times, but I suspect Mike Norman there running on jet-lagged legs, and he'll settle into the time zone he's in right now. If I'm not mistaken, I think he'll certainly improve on that. Mike Cherry, 44.69. First 4 under 45, a long way under 45. That is impressive. Interesting story, though, with Tokyo, some 3.5 weeks away, Jenny. I know that Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price is already operating on Tokyo time. She was at the track at 6 a.m. The day before yesterday on Tokyo time. They are very, very thorough, these athletes. It's been a fabulous meeting. I do hope you enjoyed this 11th edition of the István Gyulai Memorial meeting. The World Athletics Continental Tour goes from strength to strength. And this one was a very strong one. Probably the best when you look at all those meeting records. I counted 7 meeting records. So from Jenny Meadows, myself, Tim Hutchings, it's bye-bye for now. And we'll see you very soon. If not before, then hopefully in terms of all that great action coming at us from the Olympic Games in Tokyo. Bye-bye.
Lately, nobody can hold me down. Things are moving like crazy. No, nothing can stop me now. don't stop, keep going. Yeah, no limits, no limits.